Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have an unboxing of the POCO C65. Let's get started. This is one of the most attractive devices because of the low price it has. It is super economical and does not sacrifice as many things as other economic devices might do. In Mexico it was launched for sale through Mercado Libre and the current price is 2,316 pesos. On screen you can see the reference price in dollars, even though remember that the prices here are not the same as there. Also remember that this is its price at the time of recording this video, but it could vary. It is undoubtedly a device that could be considered too attractive, but let's see what is included. As you can appreciate, here come the main specifications of this device to give you an idea. It has the MediaTek Helio G85 processor, which we usually see in much more expensive devices. In addition, it has 50 megapixel main camera, which is also a feature that is usually reserved for more expensive devices. A 6.74-inch screen, which is quite large and is also 90 Hz, meaning it has a higher refresh rate than the iPhone 15. It supports 18-watt charging, which again in this price range is a considerably good thing, and its battery is 5 milliamps. I think this section is the most common in the range and what I would highlight the least, but not because it is a bad thing, but because it is something that almost all devices have. Although in small letters it makes us a clarification that the box includes the 10-watt charger but supports up to 18 watts if you have another charger or want to buy it separately. Fortunately, it supports the power delivery standard, so you can buy some other charger with that standard and it's going to work fast charging. We're going to remove these stickers. We're going to turn this phone on while we see what else is included in the box. To begin with, they include the tool to extract the tray, which is something very common in all devices. We also have a lot of quick information papers. We also find the charger and the cable, which as I anticipated, we have only 10 watts in this charger included in the box, and the cable is simple. From USB-A to USB-C. And in the rest of the box there is absolutely nothing. So what I find curious is that this time they don't include a case, since usually Xiaomi always includes a simple case, but it comes in the box. And in this case the box seems a bit simpler, although it should be remembered that this is a very low cost device. So I honestly don't consider that to be a weak point. Let's take a look at the cell phone and get back to you. We already have the device set up, so let me quickly tell you about its main specifications. We will find a thickness of 8.09 millimeters and a weight of 192 grams. So I think that for the price range is well achieved its design. Obviously we will find plastic in the construction of the device because it is not something expensive. The screen, as I anticipated, is very large, 6.74 inches in its diagonal and has HD plus resolution, which was expected in this price range. That is, it is a slightly low resolution and of course it will not have a very high brightness either. It is not an impressive screen, but for the price range it manages to deliver. The advantage of this screen, as I anticipated a moment ago, is that it has a 90 Hz refresh rate. Interestingly, if it comes protected with Gorilla Glass 3, it also brings side fingerprint reader, which is something that most devices of this price sacrifice. In addition, the front camera is 8 megapixels with f-aperture 2.0. Honestly, these are specs of a camera from a much more expensive device. And on the back we have the 50 megapixel main camera with f1.8 aperture, and then we have simply marketing cameras. One which is macro with 2 megapixels, and f-aperture 2.4, and the third camera simply tells us that it's an auxiliary camera, which is a nice way of saying a useless camera. But in any case, at this price we couldn't ask for more cameras or anything similar. I would simply point out that although it looks like it has 3 cameras, I would consider just one. But let's look at some examples. This is a 50 megapixel photograph, and honestly it does seem to take advantage of the level of detail on the sensor. Obviously not to the level of much more expensive and costly devices, but I think you could perfectly well reframe some image or extract a photograph from this picture because of the good level of detail it has. Here I took another picture with 50 megapixels, and let me insist that it has a very good level of detail. The truth is that for this price it is very surprising. This is a 2x digital zoom photo where it is supposed to take advantage of the information from the 50 megapixel sensor, and honestly it does. The maximum is 10x, obviously here it is no longer as impressive, but still I think for the price range it makes very good use of its 50 megapixel camera. In selfies the preview still doesn't look right, but after taking the picture at least it balances highlights and shadows better. Although I find the shadow area a bit darker than we would like, but for the price range again I think the result is very good. And for macro photography, the main camera gets this result. Even if you apply 2x digital zoom, the result is beautiful. And with respect to the macro camera, notice how the result, even I feel, is worse compared to what the main camera gives us. To make it clearer, this is the main camera with 2x digital zoom, and this is the macro camera that, although it is not a bad camera, it is definitely behind the main camera. And the auxiliary lens is supposed to capture depth, and it does that very well indeed. I was surprised that in this case it kept this object in focus, although having a face also sometimes makes it a little easier. Then I took another picture that was a little more difficult, and in this case it fails to detect the depth at 100%. But for the price range, the truth is that it takes very good portraits. I have seen much more expensive devices that take much worse portraits, so I think this device is going to be one of the best recommendations in this price range. The rear camera records in Full HD, and that is also another advantage, and the front camera as well. It has a 5000 milliamp battery, and another highlight is that it does have NFC, so you can make mobile payments. In this price range is a feature that virtually no one offers. But if you think it is already too much, then note that it has 256 gigabytes of storage. The truth is that I find no negative points considering the price of this device, since most devices in this price range are 64 gigabytes, and the fact that this device offers 256 is a huge advantage. It's a device that's going to take you a long time to fill up, and if that's still not enough for you, it has 8 gigabytes of RAM. You usually find this capacity from devices costing 3 or 4 times what this one costs. The processor is the Helio G85, and it's time to benchmark it. Remember that this test will give us a numerical result to have more or less an idea of the power that could give this device, but the real performance we will see in the video review. And here we have the score. In single core we have 435 points and multi-core 1257 points. Definitely that for this price it's one of the most powerful that we're going to find. But in the review I'm going to take a closer look at the performance when opening applications, editing videos and doing other actions that will surely interest you. So be sure to follow me closely so you don't miss the full review and you can see absolutely all the details about it. For the moment, this has been all regarding this device. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, you know you can tell me about it, and we'll see you next time.